Hello YouTube, it's Brian here again. I changed my video channel, you'll notice, to Mr. Saabage. I plan to be more active over my Christmas break here and into the new year, making new videos on my stereo install and just anything related Saab. So if you're looking for my channel, it's now Mr. Saabage. So what I'm going to take you over today is the wiring of my amps and speakers and just the placement of them in the vehicle and where they are and stuff. Just the rest of my system, because I already showed the head unit in the last video. Just the rest of my system and how all of my components and everything like that. So we can start here. I've loosened the screw already just on that plate, so you take that off. And we start at the power terminal here. Now I bought a kit, a great kit from Kicker Audio. I will link it in the description. It's a wonderful kit. I know it's very expensive, but I learned very early that your system can only be as good as the weakest link. So do not skimp out on wiring, or you will pay for it in the long run and you'll have to replace everything, which is a big hassle. So definitely buy OFC wire that's oxygen free copper, as it is a lot better than the copper clad because it won't wear out over time, which I've heard lots of things about, and it's better. So the upfront cost is more, but it's well worth it in the long run. So we start here with my power terminal here, and these all came in the kit, which I'll be linking. And what I did was ran the cable. This cable just loops around here. I had excess, so I just looped it around here, and I ran it right through this little port beside the hydraulic for the hinge. Now, because the wire is so thick, what you have to do is you can't run it through this kick plate because then it won't sit flat. So you have to do a little bit of improvising. So what I did was I ran it right past this hydraulic here up at the top, and then I took off this plate right behind my wheel, and I ran the wire down and then ran it all the way up along the kick plate all the way to the back here. And then I did the exact same thing at the back. Now I know you can't see it, but I took that plate off as well right in here. And you have to drill to get back through the back seat. I know it's a very inconvenient process, and if anybody has another idea, I'd be happy to make a video on how to make it better, because drilling through Saab's frame is a big hassle because the steel is very thick, and I needed an industrial bit to get through my back seat. So if anybody has another idea, that'd be great. I'd be open to suggestions on making another video about that. So I ran that wire up right back, and as you can see here where my finger's touching, it just comes right up through the back seat. Now, because my install is so intensive, I have a second battery here because I installed about 1,500 watts worth of stuff. But if you don't need a second battery, what's going to happen here is this cable that I'm touching with my hand that just came out of the back there is going to be hooked in. You can see my fuse right here. You're going to hook this cable straight into this fuse. Now this fuse also comes in the kit, which is perfect, so you don't have to buy it on your own. And then what you do from there is, as you can see down here where my fingers are, this is just a little splitter. So this thick cable comes in this way, and then it splits out into two smaller cables that are this thick that I'm holding right here, that are that thick that you can split off to your two different amps. That all comes in that kit. That kit is wonderful. I highly recommend it. I've never had problems with it. So then you can use that to split to your two amps. So now I've got a speaker amp up here. I've got two speakers in the back here, on this side and that side, and then I've got two component speakers in the front. So that is all four of these wires in there. This is my ground cable, which I can show you as well. And this is obviously the power that I just talked about. And it's the same for my subwoofer speaker. I have a 1,000 watt speaker from JL there. And that is the exact same. So I can take you in the back here to actually show you what it's all about. So I have two 10-inch JLW3 V3 subwoofers. I bought this enclosure. It's a Sound Ordnance enclosure. I bought it off of crutchfield.ca. It's the Canadian website. I'm not sure if they have it on the American one, but I know they have it on the Canadian one. And this enclosure is awesome. Now this cage on the front I built myself just because I'm throwing hockey equipment and stuff like that in the trunk. So I don't want to have to worry about it hitting the speakers or anything. So as you can see, I've got my subwoofer amp there. These cables run all the way up to the front, towards the front of the car for the head unit, as well as them on the speaker amp. They're on this side. all 4 of them there, right there, and they run to the front of the speaker as well. So I can come back up here, and if you have a dual battery setup like myself, what you're going to do is you're going to run this power wire from the front of the car straight into the power terminal of the second battery. Now what you're going to do from here is you're going to have a another power wire. What I did, just a little one off of that, and you can see that just loops around right here, and then into the fuse, which goes into the splitter, and then that goes to your amps. So that gives you the power from both batteries. Now the grounding, all I did for these 2 wires, this one here, which came in the kit as well, and this one here, that also came in the kit, I just found 2 convenient ground locations in the back of the SAAB here. So I've noticed right on the side here, if you just take that off, there's a great screw right back there that I've installed there, and you can see I've got all of my power and my ground running there, or just my ground, sorry, power's obviously connected to the batteries. I've got all 3 of my terminals grounded on the same one because I found a great spot for it. So that's that, and now what I just talked to you about is the second battery. Now you can't just link up a second battery straight from this because the power is not going to be distributed between the 2 batteries. So what you have to do, and on my way back up I can show that. I talked earlier that I didn't run my power cable through this kick plate. That is also because I have the speaker wires. You can't have the speaker wires and the power wires in the same thing, in the same little section here, because if there's too close, you'll get interference and it'll sound horrible, and you can't get that to go away. So what I did was run the speaker wires through there, and then I ran on the other side of my car, on the passenger side, up the same thing. I ran all of the RCA outputs to my head unit on that side. So what I did for my install, when I installed my second battery, is I installed a solenoid relay. Now this one is called Install Bay. It's an IB200, so it's a 200 amp high current relay. And what that does is it diverts power between this battery and the battery at the back. So all this thing does is it just has a little switch in it, and all the switch does is just when you turn your car over, the switch allows it so that this battery and the back battery can both be diverting power back to the battery at the back of the car. So then you don't have to worry about splitting them between the 2. So from this one here, you'll notice I have one wire right here, and this wire, I actually threw you guys for a little bit of a loop here. I forgot I made this change. So when I talked about at the start of the video, this wire that I have coming right off the power to this battery, this actually loops down, comes over here, and goes into one side. If I can scroll in the video, you can't see the bottom side, but there's 4 little ports on the bottom of this isolator. So there's 2 power ports. So this is from the first battery, and then this wire, as I showed you before with this nice coating on it, comes right back here, and that's the one that goes to the other battery. So what this does is allows this battery and the battery at the back both to be connected to the isolator at the same time. Now this yellow wire here, you'll notice this is just a really thin, small wire. This wire comes right out through. I brought it up around on this thing. It comes right back through. You can see I just put a little fuse in just to be perfectly safe. It's not, you don't really need it, but I bought it just to be safe. And what I did was I ran that wire right in through here. I just cut out just a little notch in here just so that this wire is not tight. And I ran it into the F8 terminal here, just in the positive one. Now the reason I did that is because I noticed that SAAB had left a switched power terminal in. So what that means is when the key is not in the car, this little fuse panel is not on. And that's what you want for your power, right? Obviously, because you don't want both of your batteries to be on at the same time when the car is not even running, because that defeats the purpose of the isolator. So this thing, when I turn the switch on the car over, you can actually hear it click very slightly, and when it clicks, that means that it opens this circuit so that these can run in series with each other and provide the maximum power to the back. So this is F8 8, as I called, and all you have to do is just put the end of just a little wire. It doesn't have to be anything huge. I think this is probably a 16 or an 18 gauge wire, not very thick, and just toss it into that terminal there. So I'll put that back on there. So that is the end of all of my videos. Now, I'd really like to get into doing more videos, so if you have an idea that you'd like me to go over on a SAAB, I have a 2005 SAAB 9.3, so anything from the 03 to the 07 range, and I know a lot of the models transfer over as well. If you'd like me to do any videos, or you have any ideas for videos that you might want to see somebody else help you through, I would be glad to help you with that. I plan on doing more videos in the near future. I want to do a video taking off the doors for the door speakers. The driver side, passenger side are exactly the same, so I'm just going to take one door off. There's a few screws. Just show you what needs to be detached, how to take the speaker out, how to put a new one in, stuff like that. I'm also going to show, because what I have is a 2-battery setup, so obviously I need a lot of output from my alternator. So I have an upgraded alternator that I'm looking to show how to install one of those as well. So if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video.